Hi, I'm Sarah. I just started my 4th year as a professional educator in a public school system. And there is 10 dispositions that I feel are extremely important for educators to use as kind of guidelines to promote professionalism in the workplace and to support students. I have a pretty good understanding of some of them. Some of the ones that I am pretty confident with is I have the high expectations. I have high expectations for myself. That's why I'm in the master's program, because I set goals and I try to achieve them and I work towards them all the time. And I brought that into the classroom with my students. So my students do individual goal setting so that they're working towards something and it, maybe they believe that they will reach that goal someday, and that's what I want them to believe, that they need to keep working towards things. Also respect for student diversity. I have students from all different religious, ethnic, racial backgrounds that come into my classroom, and I'm very open-minded and accepting of all of them. And I believe that as an educator, you need to support your students, and that would be social, emotional, academic, and economic support in any way that you can. So I try to do that daily in my work. Also fairness. There's students in my classroom that they need to have different types of fairness, but I try to keep all my students understanding that it is a fair environment and that, I listen to everyone's side of the story, and so everyone is treated fairly. Also professional conduct. I learned from an early age, you always want to dress professional. You want to present yourself in a very professional manner. You're on time. You have great attendance. You're dependable. So your staff, your colleagues, everybody around you can depend on you and know that you're going to be there to support them, including your students. It's extremely important to me, and I feel like you are a role model to your students, so you need to present yourself that way. Also, reflection is another disposition that I do constantly as a student, and as a new teacher, I self-reflect on what I've done, how can I improve on it. I constantly ask for colleague feedback. I ask advice. I take criticism. I'm constantly learning, going to seminars and trainings and trying to look for new and improved ways to help my students. Also curiosity. I feel like students need to be curious about the work. I am only engaged in something if I'm curious about it, and so I bring that into the classroom with interesting questions or some sort of phenomenon or something that will get kids to be interested and engaged. And honesty is a big one with me. If I'm honest with my students and they know where I stand with things, then they will be honest back, and we can build relationships based on honesty. Some of the things that I'm working with in my classroom are compassion. I want to be more warm and welcoming when they come in and greet them every morning and start the day off right. I'm also working on advocacy, which is building those deep relationships with trusting and getting to know their backgrounds and how I can help them more. And then also dedication. I need to be more consistent with some of my rules and have positive reinforcement in the classroom. And a lot of times I get hooked on something that goes on and I don't do the positive. So those are things to work on. I feel like a professional should use these dispositions as guidelines. They should be presented professionally in the classroom and outside the classroom, making sure that, we're role models all the time anywhere we are, because we are educators, and so we should act and use these guides to make sure that we're following those rules and presenting ourselves the best we can. All right, thank you.